Hello, fellow woodsmen and woodswomen. This is Chad Redding here with Ruck Outdoors. I'm here at the Warren tonight, and I am shooting a series of videos, 3 total, in my first series of Ruck reviews. And like I mentioned in the first video, this is 3 very similar Rucks. They're all 25 to 35 liters. They're all military surplus, actually all European military surplus, and they're all green. So typical military surplus, you don't get much choice of color. But anyways, without further ado, let's get into it. So the second Ruck here I got is really legendary. A lot of people in Europe use this Ruck, and I would say, next to the Alice, it's probably the next most popular military surplus Ruck for people to get and use, for bushcrafting. So here it is, the Swedish LK35. For those of you who don't know what it is, but most people do. As you can see, this is an external frame Ruck, which for me is a big plus because I'm a super fan of external frame Rucks. I just really like them. That's just me. They're more comfortable for me. I like the air gap. I like, the airflow, and they just are, for me personally, much more comfortable to carry over long distances or short distances. So since we mentioned the frame, let's start with the frame. So the frame, unlike the Alice, is steel. And as you can see, it's got these 2 little posts that the Ruck hangs on. And then it's got, it's actually formed. There is a little bit of a curve to it, and it's got this little shelf on the bottom, which you can see right there, and that's really cool. I mean, it's very thought out. The frame is very well thought out. It's very it's a nice design. Like I said, weight wise, it's steel. It's not bad. I mean, it's actually really lightweight for what it is. It's not a large frame. It's not like some frames, but you can get a lot on this frame. I mean, even if you just take the pack off, you can carry a lot of firewood with that thing. One problem with the steel frame, and this is what I found with a lot of these here in the States, seems to be like a lot of the ones I found have the paint has worn off and they're rusted. But with this, if it's not too bad, I mean, it's easy to strip it down, sand it down or whatever, and you could actually re-weld this if you had to, and repaint it and refurbish it. It wouldn't take much to do that, and it's worth it. It's a nice design, at least for the frame aspect of it. So let's move on to the Ruck itself, to the pack body. Starting off at the top, you have these nice webbing straps at the top with a buckle, and they're very long. I mean, you can get a lot of, pull that out a little bit here. You can see that's pretty large. I still got a little, 2 inches there. You can get a lot on top of there. I mean, you can get a nice size bedroll, sleeping pad, blanket, whatever you want to put on there. I mean, you could get something in there really nice. I like that design. I think that's a good aspect that they included that in there. The lid is flat, as you can see. So it's flat on the top and comes down. So this lid really closes over top of the pack body really well. So it protects what's inside. There is no storage in the lid. It's not like the Alice. There's no flap or, like some other packs that you can open up and put stuff in. There is nothing in there. It's just a lid. Then moving on to the pack body, as you can see here when I pull this out, it's quite large. I mean, it's a bucket. It's a big bucket. It's pretty good sizable. It says 35 liters, but I think it's a little more. It's wider at the top, and as you can see, it does get narrow down towards the bottom. And that lid just fits right over top of that. Inside your main compartment, you have one main compartment. As you can see, in this particular one, I have 2 of these. This particular one is lined with like a PVC plastic or whatever they put in there, vinyl. My other one is not lined. There's a secondary pocket in there. I mean, it's not real large, but you can still get a good bit of stuff in there. And it has, you know, it's a little bit, there's a little bit of elastic in there to kind of help hold it, but there's nothing, no drawstring on that. On the main Ruck, there is a drawstring that you can close it. And it's got this strange closure. To those of you who've never seen this thing, how this works is you pull it and then you just push that in. And as you can see, that's not going anywhere. And then to reopen it, you just pull on that and pull. So the closure does work really well. And like I said, it's a drawstring and it's off to the side, which is kind of a nice little feature. You don't have it hanging in the front. As you can see, you got some webbing to reinforce the front here. And you have an axe loop on the front, and it actually has some reinforcement right here. So you can put your axe there, and then your handle comes down on the body of the pack, and then you have this adjustable loop on the bottom here for the handle to go in. So if you wanted to carry, you know, something relatively long, a bow, unstrung or something, you can, you know, and this adjusts. This one doesn't, but this one does, and that's pretty cool, I think. You know, unlike the Italian Ruck, I like that the axe loop is up high. You know, you don't have the handle hanging down low, but this is a taller and bigger Ruck. On the bottom, you have these straps, and these basically go up through. You see here, there's a little eyelet, so they come through here. Actually, I'll just do it so you can see. Usually I just leave them in, but come up through here, go through this buckle, and it's just like the top, it goes tight, and you just pull it down to tighten it, and then to loosen it, you just push back up and pull back through. Now, it's a cool closure system. It's not bad, but you don't have a fast X buckle. This isn't something you're gonna click, open up and flip the lid open and, you know, get your stuff out. So it takes a little longer to get stuff out. I mean, some people that bothers, some people like me, it really doesn't matter. So it's all a matter of personal preference. Could you modify that? Oh, absolutely, you can, you know. And then these being longer, you could put something on the bottom here of the Ruck, because this lid does come down pretty far. So if you don't have a ton of stuff in here, you can hang something on the bottom also, and then it'll be right underneath the shelf. So you can use the shelf to carry something here if you wanted to. Also, with the way this frame is designed, you see you got like a little holes here and stuff. You could probably, you know, put a bedroll strap through there and hang something underneath the frame if you wanted to. So it's got another little tab here on the side, as you can see, to hang stuff off of. I've actually put a plastic sheath from my saw that, you know, came with the silky saws. You can buy like a little plastic sheath. On my other one, I actually hung that on and just dropped my silky saw in there, and it stayed and just rode on the side like that. I did that for a while until I got another option. So one of the things I don't like about this Ruck is the straps. I mean, the straps aren't bad. They're wider than the Alpini. They have a little more padding. They are adjustable. As you can see, you can unbuckle and move them in different positions on the frame. But, and you know, you got a lot of adjustment, so a bigger guy could put these on. But I would like something a little more robust. I'm a big fan of having a waist belt. For me, that's important. You know, a really good waist belt distributes the weight to your hips, you know. But for a pack like this, you know, 35 liters, if you're just doing a day hike or something, or a quick overnight with minimalist gear, it's not going to be a deal breaker. You know, it's not a big deal. I personally, I took my straps off my other pack and I put the improved Alice straps on that have a little ergonomic bend, has a sternum strap, and then I took this webbing pad off, put the Alice kidney pad on, and the Alice belt. I liked it. It's comfortable. It's comfortable. I like the straps. I'm going to take the Alice belt off and put on a Molly belt, That's just me. I like the Molly Bell. I like that. Feels secure on me. That's just me personally. But other than that, I've used it on a couple times, and it's comfortable. I don't have any issues. And that's with a day load. These webbing, the webbing they put here, and here is adjustable. You can move that. You just there's a series of knots underneath there. See if I can't get that on the camera. And you just loosen them up, and you can slide that up and down the frame so you can adjust that. And it actually does a really good job of padding and keeping the frame from riding on your back. So that part of it, it doesn't look like it would be comfortable. It actually really is. So another thing I don't like about this Ruck, and once again, this is just me personally, I like having side pockets. And when I'm looking at these 3 Rucks, I'm looking at it from out of the box. What's the best one out of the box? Without modifying, just stock, bone stock, as if you were to buy it. I like to have a set of outside pockets, side pockets, because I like to put my water bottles on the outside. That way I can access them, or something that I can quickly access. I can get it out of the side. I can just swing the Ruck to the side sometimes and just pull out, versus having to get in my main pack. So that's another thing I don't like about this Ruck, is I wish it had side pockets. There is a set of Swedish pouches, I forget what they're for, that a lot of guys in Europe, well, if you look on YouTube, you can find tons of modifications for this pack. It's endlessly being modified constantly. But there's these Swedish pouches that the guys over in Europe and other guys get, and they stitch onto the sides of these things. So then you end up with a nice side pouches that you can use. I do like the main bucket. I mean, like I said, it's got a lot of capacity. And it's just a bag on a frame. And I do like the fact that it has this little secondary. So I would say, out of the 3 Rucks I'm reviewing here on this series, this is my second choice. Only because of the straps and the lack of side pockets. If it weren't for that, this would definitely be my first, just because of the frame. I mean, it's just like a lot of options. This would be a great little hunting pack. If you pack in to set up a spike camp, you can easily take this off. See, I just looped that off, and you can see this one has adjustable loops. Unattach it down here, hang your pack on a tree, and then go hunting with this frame, and you can pack all your meat out to your camp with this frame. That's actually something I might plan on doing this year. So this is a great pack for that. I mean, it's got a lot of adaptability. It's just, like I said, out of the box, I would rather have a better straps and side pockets. But other than that, Swedish LK35 all day. So that's the second Ruck, and I'll be filming another one for the one that is, I consider, #1 out of these 3 Rucks, and that will be coming shortly. So fair weather and safe journeys.